Our dev left and I thought things can only get better. I was wrong. Very wrong. Hey, I'm Chris and I'm building a fantasy strategy card game from scratch. There's no funding, no publisher, just a handful of friends trying to make a game in our spare time that would actually want to play. Join me behind the scenes as I take you through a look at the monthly chaos, the wins and the questionable decisions behind Kingdoms of Arailia. This is our devlog. So last time we sped through a year of making my game and then 5 months of turning that digital. That journey started with our dev leaving and ended with our dev leaving, but for very different reasons. Here's the next part of our journey through May 2025. There are some highs and some tough choices. Perhaps you'd have done something differently. Don't think it takes me to say you can't build a game without a dev. So that's priority number one, and I've put out an ad, so we'll see where that goes. Unfortunately, I was not expecting to lose our dev, so I was already recruiting for illustrators to get our card art up to speed. And what's that now meant? Well, double the amount of time just looking through applications and also doing interviews, which together really not ideal. Along with house renovations, writing the novel for the world, Tales of Arailia, and general life, you can imagine spare time has taken a bit of a hit. Basically, in any gap I can find, I'm looking at applications or doing interviews. Lost my evenings, lost my weekends. Some may say in my mind, yes, not found a fit yet. To make this even better, we've now just lost another illustrator, although lost might be a bit of a stretch. So after lots of back and forth before they joined, which perhaps in hindsight should have been a red flag, but hey, you live and you learn. They did eventually join and it was quite clear very quickly they were not going to be a good fit. So another role to refill. Have I mentioned recruiting takes a long time? By far my least favourite activity. We're now halfway through the month and things were feeling like they were stalling a bit, but we've now got some good news. We found some great artists. Paul, our Brummie Michelangelo, who's somehow managed to cram a whole chariot onto his first card, and Adrian, our British Bob Ross, whose Hunter initial concept was so cool we actually switched its stats with another better ranged unit. Meanwhile, Olaf, one of the OGs, has started on the white box for the battlefield, so it really does feel like we're finally approaching that time to wave goodbye to the XL. And at this point, it's probably about time I tell you a little bit about how the game actually works. The overall aim is to remove your opponent's cards from the battlefield, so nothing revolutionary there. And as you can see, there's two sides to the battlefield and you play your cards onto your own. One of the more unique features is the fact you can move your cards around the battlefield, and if you move into the opponent's side, then you essentially can block where they're deploying, and also if they deploy around you, they'll take damage straight away. So it really can become quite powerful. We can get to intricacies another time, but it's meant to be intuitive to how a battle may actually play out, and all of this leads to it being a blend between a classical card game, a bit more of a deck constructor, but then also a strategy game mixed in together. And if you're wondering, as for the second bit of good news, I've actually managed to finally recruit a dev. But not just one. Learning from previous mistakes, I've recruited two, and they feel a perfect fit for the team. They have their own specialisms, so the aim is for them to come together to create the perfect duo. But, as feels a common occurrence, there's a problem. Do we continue with the current code or just scrap it and start again from zero? Rather than digging through what's already been built and trying to understand what's going on, especially with the flaws which were there, we're just going to start from scratch. It's a tough one for me, as the aim was to release within a year, and we're now 5 months in and have got zero code. But sometimes got to cut off a finger to save a hand, or something. First thing we did with marketing was a brainstorming session to work out who our target audience were. Kieran and Joe have also been getting to grips with CapCut, the editing tool. So now we're working on producing the first video for this channel, which is actually going to be an intro. And it's actually involved some in-person filming, which hopefully for all our sakes, I do become a bit more used to. So over the coming months, what shall we... We're now at the end of the month and actually getting into a bit of a rhythm. So the devs, first of all, they were trying to understand the game, and now they're trying to work out how to draw cards. We've also started on a website, and we've decided to go with Card as our hosting platform because we don't really need anything too fancy, and it really just does everything we need. We just need to work out how it should look now. So that was May, and you may be thinking, smooth sailing from there. but it took about 6 days for us to be crushed again. Next month, join for more cards, more code, and as I may have alluded to, more challenges.